Yay, I did it. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to Cosmic Cunties, the first official recorded Cosmic Cunties that I will be uploading to YouTube. This is a place where we reclaim the cuntiness. We show up in our authentic selves, all that we are, and each and every week that we do show up. This week it is for August 10th until August 17th. Today is being recorded on August 12th, so we do have to go back in a bit to discuss what's happened in the beginning of the week. But I want to just preface that all astrology discussions are energy discussions, and all energy is duality. And so you can look at the things that are being discussed in one of two ways. It's a coin that has two sides to it. And so that's kind of how I like to take the movement that's happening within the weekly astrology and help y'all apply it to your life so that when you show up in the world, you can be like, why is this person acting like this? Or why does the energy feel like this? Or why am I feeling this way internally? And you can know and be aware of the fact that these things are going on due to the astrological transits if you are aligning with them energetically and you are self-aware enough. And that way you can move through your week in a more harmonious way. So with that being said, I will sometimes touch base on how the energies are going to be affecting the world as a whole. However, I am a deep believer that the external world is a reflection of your internal world. So when you can help yourself internally and reflect internally, then you can show up in a better way in your world, and that makes your world and the world you exist in a better place. So I also typically rely on this We Moon 2025 calendar Gaia rhythms for women. And on the weekly planner, it tells me what transits are happening and the moon movements. And so that's why I like to rely on this planner a lot. But they also have a lot of art and poetry within this planner that is by women that submit requests from all over the world. And so I like to share that when I have some that come through. And this one is for this week, and it's called Come Home by Celine. And so I'm going to read that and then we'll get started in the week. Come home. Come home to your body. You are welcome here. Forget what you've done and what you've not. This temple was built for you. And even if the floors aren't clean and the window is broken and there's shit all over the place, you are welcome. Come home to your body. Now let's take a breath, settle into my lungs, melt through the fascia that keeps you. Expand into this space, contained, yet so vast. Bring your exhaustion, your hunger, your excess. Welcome home. I thought that was a beautiful little poem. Actually, the excerpt is by Kristen Olson from 2022. This piece of art is Celine. I mixed that up earlier. Okay, let's dive into this week. This week is massive. This week is, you're probably already feeling the energy. We are still in a major retrograde season. So many major planets are currently retrograde, and this is the season to be reflecting on all the ways in which this past year has worked for us or maybe not worked for us, so that when we arrive into 2026, the year of one, it is a fresh start with a solid foundation and all of our systems are in place, at least as much as they can be. It's just a steady work every day, every moment of reflecting as to what is working and what is not working and what is. And so with those retrogrades that are happening, we also have this weekly astrological transits happening. But the first thing is Monday, yesterday, Mercury stationed direct. So we're no longer in Mercury retrograde. We are in direct in Leo. There is a shadow period that happens for about 3 to 4 weeks. But you shouldn't be feeling it as heavy. Everybody's a little bit different, but you shouldn't be feeling it as heavy. And so Mercury stationing direct. Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect, mind, expansion, innovations, inventions, talking, speaking, communicating in any way, written or not, poetry, however you like to communicate. That can also be it's also technological things. So if you are working on a project, writing a book, waiting to submit things, emails, text messages, have that conversation, it's now a little safer to do so. And the Leo is supporting that because Leo is prideful, Leo is heart-centered, Leo is courageous. As long as Leo, this is the duality of the archetype, as long as Leo is healed or more self-aware than typical. And by that I mean Leo's typically Lego, not Lego, Lego. Leos typically are operating in their ego. They're the sun, they're operated by the sun. And so they are the light, they are the essence, everything revolves around them. And when you can tell when a Leo steps into the room, everybody's attention just goes to them, whether they want to claim it or not. And so this energy is asking for you to step into your light and into what is really serving your best interest, but not in an egoic way of like, look at me, look what I have to say. I'm going to talk loudly and disrespect everybody else around me and not listen to what others are saying. It's more like I have been reflecting during Mercury retrograde during this Leo season, and I do feel like I have these ideas that are burning inside of me and I want to share them. And although I'm scared to share them, ego, or fearful of what I'll look like or sound like, ego, I am actually going to step into my power and speak my truth because what I have to say is unique to me. There's only one of me. And there might be people out there that need to hear it from the way that I'm going to say that, or the way that I'm going to write it, or the idea that I'm going to implement, or anything that you can communicate in any form of communication that you have. You might have a different idea of communicating. It is now supporting you to step forward with that Mercury direct and with all the reflections or mishaps or reviews of maybe projects that have come back through in this retrograde season or people. You now have or should have a little more clarity on how you want to proceed forward and feel supported in that way now that we've kind of worked out some kinks and officially gotten rid of maybe some people or places. Now, another thing that happened on Monday, that is yesterday, August 12th, or I'm sorry, August 11th, that is really beautiful, 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 beautiful. And the energy is still palpitating here today and tomorrow, Wednesday the 13th. So you can still work with this energy. This is technically the biggest manifestation day of the year. So we know we've heard a lot about 8/8 Lionsgate portal. And on my Instagram, I've talked a little bit about why I don't feel as aligned with the 8/8 this year. I do feel, 8/8, that energy of abundance, of wealth that is coming through, did start in Egyptian times when the Nile River was overflowing and therefore crops were overflowing. Everyone had the abundance and the items that they needed. The 8/8 is a Gregorian calendar, so that doesn't align with Egyptian times. However, Egyptians did worship the sky just like they worshiped the earth. And so typically around this time of year, there is this Jupiter conjunct Venus, where Jupiter is the planet of expansion, of growth, of abundance, of optimism, of joy, of luck. It's a very beautiful planet, especially when it is going to expand whatever it's conjuncting, which is like holding hands and touching. And that right now is Venus. And Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and abundance. So we've got two expanders of abundance coming together. So this is really an amazing wealth portal or love portal as well, because Venus is love. However, what I've noticed on my specific journey this week, working with this energy, is love is wealth. Wealth is love. It's one and the same. It comes from the same part of your body, the heart center. Money is green. Heart center is green. Earth is green. And so it's the same energy of expansion that's working through the same parts of your body. And when you're open to love, when you're open to receive, when your heart is not guarded, that is when you're allowed to also receive that wealth and that abundance that comes through. It doesn't just have to be finances, it can be any abundance. And so with this conjunction, it's really important to be clear with yourself. What is it that you want to manifest? You can't just sit down and be like, I want this. You have to actually feel into what it is that you want. Feel it in your body as if it is true, as if it's already happened, as if you are literally living on that timeline. And when you do that and you start to embody that, that is when those things begin to manifest. And so I don't know if y'all can see, but I have been doing my manifestation rituals with, okay, no, we're still here. Good. With herbs and with candles. And so choosing those types of candles and those herbs that are going to best highlight the manifestation. I also did 2 days of clearing, with Saturday having that Aquarius full moon. Full moons are internal worlds, internal workings, emotions, and full moons are the releasing of that. So whatever was holding me back from thinking that I was not able to be a part of my wealthiest timeline or my highest, most optimal timeline is what I was doing over this past weekend. So that when Monday, yesterday, and today, and tomorrow are here, this energy of abundance and manifesting what comes through is able to come through as I'm more of a clear channel. And I've always been one to kind of second guess manifesting, because when I've done it before, it's come true, but I've been missing some crucial links. And so it's like this very detailed process that takes a lot of time. And the universe, I know, is testing me to be like, okay, well, if you want that, you need to tweak it. Like, let's work together. Fine tune is what they're asking us to do. And so if you're clear on what you want, this energy is supporting it. If you are clear on the wealth or the love that you want to call in, this energy is supporting it. And you can still work with this. And this is in the sign of Cancer. So this is in the sign of not only giving the motherly energy, but also of receiving. As the ultimate feminine sign, the moon, Cancer is ruled by the moon. The ultimate feminine sign is Cancer, it's receiving. And so, in what ways are you blocking yourself from receiving? In what ways do you maybe not feel worthy enough of receiving? In what ways do you feel like you need to look different? You need to be different. You need to have more or less in order to receive. This is really asking you to get clear on knowing that you're already worthy exactly as you are, but you have to believe that in order to receive and to open yourself to be a clear channel for that. So I know personally I'll continue working with this energy up until tomorrow. I am being led by the beautiful Vital Mystic. If you don't know her, I would highly suggest following her on Instagram. She is an astrologer that combines ritual practices and connection to earth, and chef's kiss, everything that I love. And it's such a beautiful conjunction between the astrological stars and placements, and then earth and kind of bringing her bounty and that together so we can become a conduit between the two realms, the 3D and the 5D and beyond. Now, on Tuesday, today that I'm recording this, we have the moon moving into Aries at 3:33 a.m. And then the moon is going to conjunct Saturn and Neptune, who have been besties in Aries, and they're going to keep being besties until 2028, basically. And so we've got Saturn, which is daddy discipline, the loving discipline planet. It's not like you know, get in trouble, but it's kind of going to be like a reprimand of like, well, that didn't work, did it? Let's revisit this and rethink about this. And then we've got Neptune, which is like illusions and dreams, and it's kind of like Venus on crack. So it's going to be these two holding hands until 2028. So I've been saying it time and time again, be really careful of people coming into your life that are trying to take roles of spiritual leaders, leadership, Aries, that are speaking in ways that seem like they're aligned and they seem like they're spiritual, Neptune. Um, but in reality, they are illusion. And it's our job to disillusion those, to see what's real. And so it's so important over this next 3 years to really tap into our spirit team and our spirit guides and to figure out what it is that is true and that is real for us. And that way, when these people do come along, if they do come along in our journey, that we know exactly what feels right and what doesn't feel right. And we're not going to be tripped up by this energy. So right now on Tuesday, Moon is conjunct though, so we're going to feel a heightenedness, I guess, is if that's a word, of the Saturn and Neptune energy that I just mentioned. And it's going to be kind of like this fiery energy. So the moon is our internal world and our emotions. And so we're going to be feeling really fiery within, wanting to kind of take action. And then we've also got the moon sextiling Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus, which is in Gemini, and opposing Mars and Libra, and trining Mercury in Leo. So today, Tuesday, August 12th, is a really big day for our emotions internally. We're going to be feeling like a lot of intensity, a lot of like wanting to move forward and take action. Aries is impatient. Aries is a leader. Aries is a go-getter. It is someone that is going to go do, especially uh, before thinking. And so with this working with Pluto, our shadows, and Uranus, the chaos, the unexpected planet, I would just suggest that it would behoove you to not act on your emotions. As always, try not to act on your emotions, especially with this fieriness that's going on with Aries. Try not to act on your emotions. Try to just sit with them. And then if you're feeling like, okay, I'm sure that this is the action I want to take, or there's something that I need to do, then it's okay to take that action once you have that clarity with that Mercury going direct in Leo and this moon on Tuesday trining that Mercury, then it's like, okay, I've got this double fiery energy that supports me in speaking out on my goals and on what it is that I'm wanting or whatever's coming up for you on Tuesday. But again, after you've processed your emotions, danced them through, sat with them, journaled them out, cried them out, whatever you need to do, then it's okay and safe for you to take the action to make those moves. It's also opposing the moon, or I'm sorry, Mars and Libra. Mars likes to take action. It likes to get shit done. It's also fiery. It rules Aries. So we're really feeling this, but Libra's like the opposite sign. And it's like, wait, what is that fair? Is that in balance? Does that make sense? And it can kind of go back and forth a lot before taking action. So that's supporting us in this energy of this Aries and Leo and Pluto and Uranus and all Saturn, Neptune, all of this today. But it is really asking us again to, as always, sit with yourself before you take action and go through your emotions. And if you really feel like you need to take action today or to communicate, then feel free to do so. But that's only after. Sitting with it. And also, it's kind of like a reminder of once you've allowed your emotions to clear and you decide it's necessary to take action, do it from a place of love, not lack, not shame, not ego, not fear. We're not operating in this Mercury in retrograde energy anymore, or at least we're trying not to. So just keep that in mind. Tomorrow, Wednesday, August 13th, this week, besides Monday, what I discussed already, is a really big moon week. So it's a lot of internal world, subconscious workings or unconscious workings and just emotions in general. So Wednesday, tomorrow, Aries moon is square Jupiter in Cancer and Venus in Cancer, which is the beautiful conjunction we were working with on Monday of this week. And then we've also got the sun and Leo trining the moon. So we've got this fire trine fire energy once again. So we're going to be feeling some friction of our internal world and yet this like expansion feeling. So it's like Aries is impatient and wants to take action, wants to make things happen, and feeling like there is this ability to make things happen, but not being able to move forward because square is friction, at least not being able to rush forward. So Jupiter could be expanding this impatience tomorrow. It could also be, reminding you that you don't need to be brash or egotistical when you take action. But that if you are taking action, make sure it's something that you believe in and that you are using this power, this fire energy to move with love and with intention. So, kind of a continuation of that Tuesday moon energy. We're still dealing with the Aries moon. Now, people that have placements that are in their natal chart, in their personal chart, like if you have an Aries moon or if you have Jupiter in Cancer or Venus in Cancer, you're going to be feeling these things more. These are more closer to your identity. These are closer to just the core of who you are. And they're going to be touching points in your chart or your being that is key to your personality, like your big three, which is moon, sun, rising. Now, Thursday, we can move to what is Thursday? The 14th. And so the moon is going to move to Taurus, an earth sign, a very grounded sign, but it's going to be squaring Pluto in Aquarius and Mercury in Leo. And Mercury is going to be sextiling Mars in Libra. So Pluto is the planet of shadows. Pluto likes to shine light on all of our darkness that we have within us, that we love so much, that we're supposed to love even more than our light. So these are our shadows on our emotional world. This is possibly going to come up when, based on how we're showing up in the world, because this is working with Taurus and Leo energy. So this is like appearances, but it's also this Leo, like hear me roar, look at me shine, and Taurus is like I think I mentioned appearances, but this is going to be kind of like shoot your shot energy. It's going to be believe in yourself, in your good, in your heart, and take action from your heart. That's Leo's favorite way to act. So it's kind of like don't let the idea ruminate in your mind, but take the action to balance it out. Stand in your power to make things happen that is fair, that is balanced with this Mercury sextile Mars and Libra. Libra is all about balance, fairness, keeping things cool, calm, and collected. All is fair in love and war. But if it's not fair, then you can use this Leo energy that's in Mercury, the planet of communication, to speak up. So as we know, a lot of things that are going on in our world right now is chaos, is horrible, horrific things happening in war and genocide. And so this is supporting energy to feel comfortable in speaking up for what you believe is right. Mars and Libra is really about taking action on what is fair. And so you're being super supported in here, especially sextile Mercury, and it's speaking your voice. And you're going to be supported if you feel inclined to speak up on what you believe is fair or not just on Thursday. Now, I just want to kind of preface this energy that I just spoke about, the Mercury sextile Mars and Libra, and speaking up when you don't think something is fair and you're going to be supported in that. It is going to be that same placement on Sunday. So on Sunday, Mercury and Leo sextile Mars and Libra again. So this is going to be like like this is the energy of the week besides the Monday conjunction of okay, maybe I didn't speak my truth fully on Thursday, or maybe I need to elaborate more, or maybe I need to be more clear, or maybe I need to be more fiery, that Leoness, I guess you can say. But it's a reiteration of shoot your shot, believe in yourself, take the action, speak up for what is not fair or what is not just, or what you want to be fair or what you want to be just, and do what is heavy on your heart. This is heart-centered speaking. So this is, if you felt inclined to not speak up in the last however long, this is really supporting you and aiding you in doing so. And it's going to come across in a heart-centered way that is balanced, even if it might feel a little edgy for you. This is going to come across as supported from your heart and for the good of everybody. Okay, we're going to move to Friday. And so Friday, the moon is in Taurus still, but it's sextiling Jupiter and Mercury, and the sun is going to square the moon. So sun and Leo squaring the moon in Taurus. Again, this is all about your internal world, your emotions. Sextiles aren't as strong energy. They're more just like, hey, like a little Eskimo kiss or a little like high five. It's not like they're holding hands or like going to a party together. It's just kind of like, hey, what's up? It's nothing too serious, but it's all supported again to continue to speak your emotions, especially when it comes to your feelings, because Jupiter's in Cancer and Cancer is all about your emotions and your internal world. So you're really being supported here. The sun is square the moon, so you might be feeling like you want to move slow, like internally, you might be feeling like your emotions are moving slow. You're feeling maybe a little more stubborn in nature and maybe just like wanting to take it easy. But with the sun in Leo, it's fiery, it's the light being, it's the light essence of who you are. It's Leo wanting to stand up and let the light shine on them, and it's square, so it's the friction. So you've got this energy that's kind of like, I want to just take it easy, but like I also want to take up space or like be in the light. So it's kind of like this in between, like you're not going to really be able to make up your mind on taking action one way or the other, especially because Mars is in Libra and Mars is the action planet, and Libra is the most indifferent placement of all the archetypes. Libra, if it can't make a choice, if it's not super sold, it just is not going to make a choice at all. It'd rather not ruffle feathers than potentially ruffle the wrong feathers. Actually, it'd rather not ruffle feathers than ruffle any feathers at all, even if it was for a good cause, even if it was for something they believed in. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm a Libra moon. All right, Saturday, we've got the moon moving into Gemini, and it's going to be sextiling Saturn, Neptune, and Aries. Sextiling again is like that high five, and then it's also going to be conjunct Uranus and Gemini. So this is mostly going to be feeling like a moon, emotional, internal world, and Uranus is that expect the unexpected energy of like, who fucking knows what's going to happen? And Gemini is the like twins, so it's left brain, right brain, this way, that way. It's like the intellectual version of Libra. Libra's more like, oh, I don't know. But Gemini's like, fuck, that's a good decision. And so is that. And I see this point of view and I see that point of view. Or that, that's a good way to go about it, but so is this. And so this is a good day to connect with your mind, connect with your ideas, communicate with others, maybe meet up with people on Saturday to bounce ideas off. But if you're not feeling Saturday like is a community day for you or even a friendship day for you, then maybe take yourself on a solo dolo date, a journey to go somewhere to learn, to stimulate your mind. Um, Maybe a museum, but even if you're like, no, I don't even want to go anywhere at all, maybe meditate on some new ideas. Your mind is moving on Saturday and it's coming up with a lot of new ideas, innovations. So if you want to kind of move your business forward, even of like a new something you can implement, um, go ahead and do that on Saturday. Sit with yourself at least. Sunday, we have got Mercury and Leo sextile Mars and Libra. Now, this is the energy that I spoke about again, and it's about the energy that we discussed for Thursday of this week. This is the come back around, and if you did not speak up, or you did not speak up enough, or you weren't fiery enough, or you need to speak on clarity on something maybe you said on Thursday, go ahead and do Sunday again, and use that energy to be there for yourself, to do what it is that you need to do. And so that is this week, August 10th through the 17th. And this is a weekly meetup, Cosmic Cunties, that I'm going to be releasing every Tuesday for that week. And I hope that it helps you guys align with the energy of the cosmos so that you can at least be more aware when you're out in the world and be more conscious of the energy that is swirling about you and how to work with that energy. So I hope to see you all next week. Until then, have a beautiful week.